In Zaporozhye region, Russian occupants liquidated a company of their military. It is noted that the incident allegedly occurred near Robotyna. A group of Russian invaders dressed in the uniform of the armed forces of Ukraine and tried to enter the rear of Ukrainian troops. A Russian drone spotted the group, identified the occupiers as Ukrainian soldiers, passed the coordinates to Russian artillery, and the later defeated the saboteurs, the statement said. It is known that 32 people were killed in the shelling. In particular, the commander who forced the soldiers to change into Ukrainian uniforms after the Russian army artillery attack deserted the positions he is currently being searched for. The enemy has begun to put more pressure, so cases of such uncoordinated actions have become more frequent at the front. Russian terrorists disguised an anti-tank mine as a pedestrian figure. There is no limit to cunning of the Russian occupiers. These monsters have no honor, no consciousness, no morals. They are not so good on the battlefield, but they are much better at fighting civilians, defenseless people. Everyone knows that after escaping, the Russians mine everything. There are cases of mining toys, gadgets, and so on, which is clearly aimed at children and teenagers. A video with a new invention of the Russians was published online. The use of toys, playground equipment, or school paraphernalia is treated as war a crime, the commentary says. For the first time in Ukraine, border guards landed the latest Russian drone, Aileron T-16. Today in the Kharkiv sector, Ukrainian defenders for the first time downed an enemy's latest drone, the Aileron T-16. This was reported by RBS Ukraine with reference to the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine. It is noted that this was done by the group of countering unmanned aerial vehicles of the 15th Mobile Border Detachment. To do this, it used a conventional anti-drone gun, which successfully shot down one of the latest Russian developments in the family of drones, the Aileron T-16. Russian attacks Kupiansk today. A teenager is seriously wounded. The Russian army struck again today in Kupiansk, Kharkiv region. A 14-year-old boy was seriously wounded. Today, a 14-year-old boy was wounded during the shelling of Kupiansk. He is hospitalized, is in moderate severe condition. Doctors are currently treating him, he said. Sunihubov once again called on the residents of Kupiansk community to be extremely cautious. The enemy has intensified shelling of the town and surrounding settlements. If possible, stay in shelters, they had warned. Shelling of Kharkiv region. The occupiers are constantly shelling the Kharkiv region, including Kupiansk, which was liberated by the Ukrainian Defense Forces in September 2022. It should be noted that Russian troops also shelled the village of Kozachalopan in Kharkiv district. Fires broke out and 2 men were injured. At the same time, the death toll from the shelling of the village of Kruglavnivka, Kharkiv region, has risen to 3 people. The occupants attacked the village a day earlier. Before that, 2 victims and 9 wounded were reported. Ukrainian Armed Forces defeat Russian rear base near Kamenka in Zaporozhye sector. Today, very strong explosions were heard near the village of Kamenka, Zaporozhye region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces have primarily hit the rear base of the Russian occupying army, Melitopol Mayor Ivan Fedorov reported on Telegram. The occupiers seem to have had a bad smoke near Belmak, the old name for Kamenka. Local residents reports at least 7 explosions, the mayor said. It should be noted that the village of Kamenka is located about 40 kilometers from the front in Zaporozhye direction. According to the deep state resource, which monitors the situation at the front, an entire regiment of mobilization reserves from the Russian occupation army is stationed there. The Russians have not commented on the information. The Ukrainian military is also keeping silent for now.